Hi guys, thank you for tuning in. I want to share something with you. Um, I found the god Coronis in the Testament of Solomon, and when we read about this angel or god Coronis, whom the coronavirus was named after, we can find some similarities, and we can see where Satan gets his playbook from. It's very interesting. So that's the point of this video. Before I get into that, I just want to talk to you about the Testament of Solomon. I am in the middle of reading it. I haven't finished it yet. I just came across this verse and I'm pretty astounded. And I just wanted to share it with you guys in light of the times that we're in. So, the Testament of Solomon, generally speaking, in Christian circles, is always considered a heretical text. Um, in light of the path that I've been on in my studies and all that kind of stuff, studying the non-commodity scriptures, all these weird angelic hierarchies and all this kind of stuff, I don't fully understand. I've been studying. Um, I figured, okay, I know the Testament of Solomon gets into this kind of stuff, and everybody considers it heretical and all that, but so I decided to start reading the Testament of Solomon to sharpen my discernment and try to figure this stuff out. What's going on here. And there are things in the Testament of Solomon. Yeah, it makes us Christians in our time generally feel uncomfortable. But again, I'm seeing this stuff as truth. I'm not saying I understand it, but I'm seeing it in other texts like the Sefer of Noah. I'm seeing it um, all over the place. I'm seeing the doctrines that are described in the Testament of Solomon as truth, that are confirmed in, like, the Book of Enoch, for example. So, here's my take on the Testament of Solomon. Before we all start going crazy and saying, well, the Testament of Solomon is saying demons made the temple, the first temple, Solomon's first temple. Hold on. Okay, King Solomon is a type and shadow of the Messiah. Now, um, we know when Messiah returns in the millennial reign, the type and shadow of King Solomon's temple, I think, is a type and shadow of what's coming in the millennial reign. We know Satan will be bound for 1,000 years. Now, the book of Enoch interestingly tells us that Messiah is even going to judge the fallen angels. So here we have, in the Testament of Solomon, King Solomon having dominion and judging all the demons and angels, and they're actually doing the work for him. They're building the temple for him. Now, our Bibles do tell us those who oppress us will serve us. So, inherently, generally speaking, I don't see anything inherently heretical in the Testament of Solomon, or not heretical enough where I'm willing to throw away this text. So I'm still reading it. King Solomon using a ring as a power to bind these demons and order them around. Well, this was before the times of Christ, so all I could say is I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend like I know, nor am I going to throw away things that I don't know right away. So these things need to be studied and held for discernment. So with that being said, in the Testament of Solomon, I want to show you a passage about the coronavirus. Really interesting. Okay, so here we are, the only translation of the Testament of Solomon I currently have in the archive. This is not the translation I'm reading. This is the Charlesworth translation. I'm reading another translation because I don't know. I can't read on the computer. I need everything in book form. So I haven't even read this translation, but let's go through it. Here we are. And we're going to find that we see the mention of the coronavirus. I'll put this PDF in the description box below. We're on page 41. Solomon interrogates, I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce that name, a female demon with 2 heads, learns of her activities, and thwarting angel Raphael. And here we learn that this female demon has the wisdom of Coronis. And let's uncover what we learn about Coronis. So, Here we go. This is Solomon speaking. Then I praised God and commanded another demon to come before me. Again, there came before me a spirit who had the shape of a woman, but on her shoulders were two separate heads with arms. I asked her, "Tell me who you are." She answered, "I am whatever. But I am called by countless names." Then I said to her, "By what angel are you thwarted or frustrated by?" Now this is consistent all throughout the Testament of Solomon. Solomon confronts all these demons and demands what angel frustrates you? What angel are you subordinate to? And here this just gets into the deep order and hierarchies of God's legions of demonic angels, God's angels. The witchcraft that people say that's in the book of Tobias, I'm not saying it is or isn't, of Tobit burning the fish and the gull and all that stuff. We can find this in the Testament of Solomon as well. So that's an interesting study to do, which has to be done, comparing the two texts and see if any truth can be deciphered there. So, but we're learning. I'm just going to repeat myself, in the history of the Sefer Noah, which shows to have real truth. These are not just corrupted heretical texts. The stuff has truth. So maybe the truth just isn't exactly what has a deeper depths than what we perceive to be from our standard biblical canon. Our standard biblical canon generally being just cliff notes of the truth. So all this stuff needs to be studied in discernment before we just throw things away as heresy. Okay, so let's continue. Solomon says, okay, "By what angel are you frustrated?" She responded to me, "What are you after? What do you want? I could change my appearance, first being taken for a goddess, and then coming one who has some other shape. In this regard, I do not expect you to know all things about me. But because you are here in my presence, listen to this. I hover near the moon. Because of this, I assume three forms." Okay, so this God lives in the moon, okay? And she assumes three forms. "At times, I am conjured up by Coronis, by the wise men." Okay, Coronis, here we go. Some kind of pagan deity of Coronis. Okay, very interesting. "At other times, I descend around those who bring me down." Okay, let's read about Coronis. So we look at footnote B. Charlesworth has his footnotes. It runs parallel to the footnotes that are in my book, and I'm just going to take you to what the footnotes have in my book, because unfortunately, here are the footnotes that I have in my book. Okay, I'm being attacked. I gotta wash this down. Bear with me, please. Okay, so let's just hear. This is what we learn about Coronis. In Greek mythology, Coronis was a leader of the first generation of Titans, the divine descendants of Uranus, the sky and the earth. Okay? Alright? A descendant of the sky and the earth is this god, whatever, Coronis. Now, we just learned, what we just read in Testament of Solomon, is that this thing takes up different forms. That's exactly what viruses do, right? Of the sky, of the earth. Interesting. Now let's hear about the mythology behind Coronis. He overthrew his father and ruled during the Golden Age. We could be in the Golden Age. I don't know if we're in the Golden Age. Until he was overthrown by his son Zeus and imprisoned by Hades. Interesting. He ruled during the Golden Age until he was overthrown by his son Zeus and imprisoned in Hades. Very interesting how he was overthrown by a son and imprisoned in Hades. Exactly as Bible prophecy says, when Jesus comes, Satan will be bound for 1,000 years. Pretty interesting, huh? Pretty amazing. So, I just wanted to share this with you. I'm not going to go deeper into this. I'll leave this. You guys can read this on your own. 15 here, page 41. This is not the translation I've been reading. The translation I've been reading, I think, is actually a little bit more revealing, the way it's worded. But we get the general idea. We have a shifting of, like, viruses change their appearance, can change forms and all that kind of stuff. All the same stuff. Very, very astounding. Very astounding. Charlesworth's translation footnote is not isn't much different of here, but the way it's worded in the book I've been reading, it's like perfectly mapped out. You can see where Satan is getting his counterfeit Bible prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Interesting. So, okay. Thank you for tuning in, guys. God bless you. Very interesting. So, what I get from this is that coronavirus might be here to stay until Satan is bound for 1,000 years, and the prophecies kind of say that. We hear in Ezekiel. Um, I'm just going off the top of my head and remembering from Ezekiel that like those who God smites, if they run, they'll get the pestilence. So I think this coronavirus is going to be around until the Great Tribulation, which hasn't even come yet, is over. Um, Very amazing how we could pick up on this stuff. So, all right, guys. Um, Thank you for tuning in, and okay, thank you for tuning in. God bless you.